y'all, this is Jordan from jordanmariepowers.com. It's been quite a while since I have tuned in with a planner update. Life has been crazy and we're working on a couple of big projects that hopefully I'll be able to talk about soon. But in the meantime, I have had a couple people ask about the current planner situation because there's been some rumors out there. So I just wanted to pop in really quick amongst terrible lighting and probably sounds in the background, so hopefully I can beat the furnace for this next cycle while I update you all. As most people know, I've been in the Crimson Malden for an incredibly long time now. However, the Malden is now empty. I actually stopped using the Malden and kind of put it into retirement back in August of last year. A lot of different things. It was big. The rings were getting to me and hitting them when I was writing. So I just decided that I wanted to try something new and see how it went. And if it stuck, great. And if it didn't, I could always go back because this binder has done so much for me. So for now, this guy is just sitting in retirement and kind of hanging out. I could certainly never get rid of him, but I could also never sell it. So also ignore this piece of paper. I have a window that is giving me some decent light, but it is also putting a pretty big glare on my drafting tables. So what I am using now is this guy. This is a Chic Sparrow Traveler's Notebook. It is a pocket-size Mr. Darcy in the burgundy color. You can see kind of her logo there. And this has been my everyday carry external brain since August, like I mentioned. When I requested this piece, I don't know if she is still kind of taking requests in the notes. Like I said, it's a pocket-sized toffee. No, it's not. It's a pocket-sized burgundy Mr. Darcy. They were out of the toffee when I ordered this. So I purposely requested a burgundy with as much brown tones in it as you can get. And as many markings. And as you can see, or hopefully you can see with this lighting, it is a beautiful, beautiful piece of leather. And it has been in and out and all over the place. So it's got dings and dents and scratches and scuffs. And every time something happens to it, I love it more and more. So here's kind of a top view. I have 4 notebooks in there right now, and that always kind of varies. But I have 4 notebooks and kind of 2 pens in there right now. So let's take a quick peek inside. Inside the book, this is normally where this pocket has my most frequently used credit card and my driver's license. If I have cash, which is kind of rare, it goes back here. I know some people were saying that they were having issues with the pockets kind of bending cards. I haven't had an issue. You can kind of see these lines where my cards hit, but it hasn't torn the leather, it hasn't bent my cards, so it kind of works for me. So over here, I have a little clicks clip, and then I have anything that is kind of open my planner, need to see type of stuff. So right now, that's 50 cents off frozen vegetables, because I always forget coupons when I go to the grocery store, and then some deposits that I have to make. So on this kind of first elastic here is this whole kind of chunk, but it's not a notebook. It is a folder that I made off of Ray Blake's website. So if you go visit his website, he has a craft pocket folder tutorial. So that's where I made this. And then in the front part, I just keep any receipts for things that I'm either waiting on or might need to return. Anything like that goes there. And then I just have a clip with a second Unisigno pen, my all-time favorite pens. I have this $20 off Shutterfly that I haven't used, so that's just kind of tucked in there because it's kind of too big to put anywhere else. And then this is all cards. So this whole front string is kind of my surrogate wallet string. So, you know, debit cards, credit cards, insurance cards, kind of the whole 9 yards goes on there. And here's my furnace, so let's see if I can talk over it. And then in the back pocket, I have coupons. So anything that's not necessarily coming up this week or my next shopping trip, it kind of goes in there, and then I try to remember to go through it from time to time. So that's the first elastic. Behind that, I just have a little card. I think this one's from the Target dollar spot. I cannot tell you the number of times that I have been out and about, or I've been at work, and I need to drop somebody a quick note, whether it's just a thank you or, oh crap, I forgot a birthday. But it's really helpful, and they're the perfect size to kind of tuck in here to keep in the planner with me when I'm out and about. So the next elastic is actually one elastic with 2 books piggybacked on it, and I'm not gonna bother going into that because there's so many people online that if you have a traveler's notebook and you want to piggyback it with a hair tie, it's really, really easy. The first book is my monthly book for 2017. So in here I have all of the months, and you can kind of see I have color coded them so that I don't have to have tabs, but it's really easy to, now I know that purple is February, so I can go to February really quick, and I try to kind of coordinate it even cheesily of, Halloween themed for October, everything like that. So it's really easy for me to go to my months, and I'll show you December because I don't really think I have anything in December yet. So how I set this whole book up, and this is just a field notes notebook, and how I set it up, and it seems to be working really, really well, and the whole year fit is on the first page I'll put tasks for the month, which will make sense in a little bit. I'm actually bullet journaling now, so I can't plan my tasks weeks out like I used to be able to. So anything that needs to happen that month, whether it's next week, whether it's tomorrow, it goes on that monthly task list. And then if I have a date, I'll just write the date next to it, so that every morning when I'm looking at my planner, the first thing I do is look at that month's tasks, see what needs to be moved to my daily bullet journal page. And then I have a kind of month on 2 pages spread for the entire month. I mark denoted birthdays up at the top, and then try to keep the days as blank because they're not huge, but so far it's worked out really well. And I do have extra space here that is anything from if my sister-in-law is flying in on the 29th, I can put her flight details over here, since again I don't have those pages planned out for weeks and weeks in advance. And it's worked really, really well. I haven't really had anything major where I've struggled or needed more space, and if I do, sometimes I'll even say I have a lot going on the 14th and I already have 3 things here and I can't fit anything else. I'll just put an asterisk and then put the next one over here. So it tends to work. The only downside is, and this is a downside with any monthly pages, is there's not a ton of room for appointment detail, and because I'm not necessarily setting an appointment for next week and I already have next week's pages in, I have the next page of each spread is appointment detail for that month. So if I have a doctor's appointment this day, I will, note that day in the left column, write, what doctor it is, an address if it's somewhere I've never been before, etc. So that has been working really well. It's been kind of a fantastic way to denote everything that I need to denote and have it all kind of in the same place and do enough forward planning without having kind of duplicate everything between here and a weekly spread. So also on that string, kind of on the second section, is another field notes. I'm kind of a field notes junkie, so this whole traveler's notebook movement has enabled my habit. So this notebook is my current bullet journal, and these last me, I'd say maybe 2 months on average. And it's just, I love graph paper, so it's a really good excuse for me to use graph paper. And I don't want to flip through the whole thing. I'm using a pretty conventional bullet journal system. I think this page is okay. So just a pretty traditional bullet journal system. At the beginning of the day, I write down the day and the date, any appointments, any tasks. And like I said, I kind of follow the traditional bullet journal system, so it's nothing super fancy. I'm still denoting, weather and what I ate and things like that. And I have honestly loved this. I didn't know if I could leave the daily page and having all that advanced planning, but this I love because, Thursday I only had this much, Friday was bigger, I've had days that span 2 pages and I don't have to worry about it being an issue. And with the monthly pages, I have enough forward planning there that I don't have to have things marked, forever in advance. So it has been a system, it's worked really well. So I'm going to keep sticking with it since it's working, and if it's not broke, don't fix it. So behind that, I have my third book in here, and honestly, this is the one that's probably going to be the next one to go. This was my most recent bullet journal daily book, so this one's just completely full. I'm not adding anything to it. It's full to the brim. But I have it in there mainly right now because I have the space, and sometimes at the beginning of a new book, I still refer to things that happen in the last book. So a lot of times, with bullet journaling, you may switch books in the middle of a week. So it's kind of nice to keep that last book in there. I usually try to keep it for at least a month or so, just in case I need anything out of it. And then this will get archived, and either the next book will go in, or if I have a special project book, that can go in there as well, which is another really awesome thing about the Traveler's Notebooks is, I miss the flexibility of rings in the sense of being able to kind of shift notes around, but I love that with the Traveler's Notebook, I can have project-specific notebooks on bigger projects, and I can just swap them in and out. So I have a couple organizations that I'm a part of, and I just have a notebook for each organization. If I'm looking at my appointments that week and know I have a meeting for that organization, that notebook gets popped in. After the meeting, it gets popped back out. So I'm not constantly worrying, am I carrying too much? Do I really need this with me all the time? It's really kind of convenient. And this notebook is a perfect example of that. So this field notes is the Iowa edition. They did the county fair editions of all the field notes, and I thought that this one was perfect for our first house. So now that we've bought our home and we're doing all kinds of renovation projects, I wanted a single notebook that had kind of all of those details in it. So like any of my other bullet journals, it has an index in it. And I've learned since I did this one that I was making pages and pages of indexes, and I usually only use one page. So I've since changed that. But, for a project notebook, I have timelines, I have to-do lists, I have to-buy lists, kind of a little bit of everything in here, which is awesome. I have all of our paint colors that we were going through and choosing, which came in handy both for, being out and about and seeing friends and family who said, oh my gosh, we're so excited about the house. What colors are you doing? And I could actually show them instead of just trying to describe it. Or when we were out, looking at furniture, looking at curtains, or looking at other things for the house, it's always nice to be able to say, okay, well, these are kind of the colors we have going on. Lots of drawings, which I am by no means an architect or a designer, so take those with a grain of salt. And just lots of details. And I have a lot of space in here, which is good because one of the projects that we have going on that I can tell you about is our attic renovation. So we bought an older home that has a completely unfinished attic, and one of the things we're working on right now is starting kind of the bidding process of finishing that up. So this notebook will probably get filled pretty quickly soon with all of those fun details. And the back of the notebook has a secretarial pocket. It's kind of my catch-all spot, so I have a key card for work, stamps, some washi tape, just a bunch of kind of odds and ends back here. And it just kind of, I cull through it regularly just to see if anything needs to be removed. But other than that, got my trusty Uniball Meister pen, so my 5-color pen that goes everywhere with me. It's kind of cracked and fallen apart, but it's still working. So that is what is in the book for now. Like I said, the wallet section, the monthly and the daily pages always stay. And then those last 2 notebooks kind of rotate out depending on what time of the month it is and what projects I have going on that day or that week. So I love the flexibility of that system and just being able to have a stack of notebooks that are for all the different projects and things we have going on. And then I can just pull from them when I need to. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. It's not super complicated, which I love. It's easy to grab and go. It's way smaller than the Malden was. So if you can kind of get some idea, it is quite a bit smaller, which has been fantastic in being able to carry around. There's actually a pocket in the bag I carry every day that is the perfect size to fit this. So it's kind of in its own little pocket in my bag. I always know where it is. It's just a lot less cumbersome to drag around, and I don't have to deal with rings. So that is it in a nutshell. If you have any other questions kind of about the transition from, rings to Traveler's Notebook, or just about the system or anything else, feel free to give me a shout out and let me know. And I'll try to be a little bit more regular on the blog in the next couple weeks. Like I said, we've just had a lot going on, so hopefully I can get back to that. And if you have any requests of things that you'd like to see or like me to write about or whatnot, that always helps me get to know what people would like to see. So I hope you're all doing well. Hope you enjoyed an update, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.